Modern warehousing is, in my view, one of the very significant transformation that we are seeing in the Indian supply chains. From what used to be traditional godowns where, industries used to keep their goods, we've seen a sea change in the kind of infrastructure we are seeing now in the country, where, warehouses are becoming larger, they're becoming, world class, they're becoming more sustainable, and they're also becoming more technologically connected. And in my view, that's a golden era for supply chain evolution in this country. My view is that we've obviously, while we have grown quite substantially post-COVID in the modern warehousing space, but there is still a significant headroom available. And my forecast is that we're likely to see about 500 million square feet of incremental warehousing space getting added across, let's say, grade A and B. And you can imagine, right, the amount of space that is, and how it will kind of transform the supply chains in the future. Yeah, in my view, this is the next wave of evolution. We've already seen warehouses getting bigger. We are seeing large logistics parks. We are seeing sustainable warehouses. Like what we have written in our report as well is the whole move towards more intelligent and smart warehouses. And look, I mean, at the core, it's a very basic concept. We call it FACT, F-A-C-T. Fast is the first element of intelligent warehouse, where warehouses are designed keeping in mind velocity, that you have to deliver velocity, speed, of goods movement to your clients. Second is accuracy, right? Because now we are seeing very large warehouses that are doing the roles of fulfillment centers, sortation centers. We have to sort, several thousand parcels, an hour, right? And the scope for error is actually almost negligible, right? And therefore, you kind of build technology within warehouses that actually delivers you very high level of accuracy, right? Third is, cost effectiveness, which is a C, right? And my view is that intelligent warehouses are not just fancy, mechanized and technology-oriented warehouses, but they also warehouses that actually deliver cost efficiency to the consumer. And I personally think there's a myth that some of these modern warehouses are expensive. Yes, they are expensive because they're built to meet global standards. But a simple rule, they're taller, bigger, and therefore you can do a lot of automation inside. You get economies of scale. And we have seen that actually delivers about 15 to 20% cost saving to customers, right? And last but not the least is the whole visibility part. We call it tracking, right? I mean, how do you track, each and every data which actually flows in the supply chains, right? Because warehouses is really the nerve center of supply chains, and therefore, as we think about the data that flows and along with our goods, that actually makes that nerve center intelligent, and that actually makes the supply chains intelligent. And that's really the whole thinking behind intelligent warehouses, which I believe would be extremely critical to make supply chains more intelligent in the future. Very important question, and I think an extremely pertinent point as well. And I think it is not just a fad that warehouses have to be sustainable. It's actually become a necessity, and I can tell you that today there are customers, global customers, who while leasing out warehouses, right, have sustainability as one of the very important criteria that they use to kind of decide which warehouse they want to go with. And we are also seeing the industry responding to it, right from the use of building materials, which are more sustainable, reusable, to when you sort of design the warehouse, making sure that you're kind of consuming less energy. So making, the whole design in a manner that there is circulation of air, there is abundant natural lighting, so that you can sort of minimize the use of energy. And then whatever energy is also required, people are actually ensuring and trying to make sure that you're actually using natural resources. So for instance, solar rooftops, right, to basically power your warehouses. And therefore, creating this footprint of warehouses, which imagine, right, just multiplied across locations. I already gave you this number of about 500 million square feet. You imagine the impact if we make these warehouses more sustainable, the impact these warehouses can have towards transitioning customer supply chain towards more greener and sustainable, right? And that frankly is a very positive way to kind of think about the role that warehouses can play in driving also sustainability and green orientation for consumer supply chains. Thank you.